Oh, good morning. Welcome to this edition of Slow Money Blues. My name is Doug, two-time combat veteran turned entrepreneur at your service. Today's episode is Bria the Billionaire. I'm super excited about this episode because we're going to talk about something that's always on people's mind, and it's money, which is right there in front of me. All right, listen, to ask your questions, visit slowmoneyblues.com and click on Ask Doug or submit your question on IG, Facebook, or Twitter using hashtag SlowMoneyBlues. And our main points that we're going to cover today are how to create wealth. And then the second point is how to keep wealth. But before we get started, I have two questions for you. One, did you say your morning mission mantra? Did you look in the mirror? Did you say, I state your name, take 100% responsibility and accountability for my life and actions. I refuse to blame others. If I do, I give away all of my power, authority, and power given to me by God. I hope you said that. You need to tell yourself that each and every day. Matter of fact, record it. Matter of fact, do a video of it and look at yourself, listen to it, take it in, and then actually believe it. Now, the second question is, did you do your homework? So if you checked out last week's episode, and I'm actually looking over here at my calendar over here, it was called Awesome Ashley. And basically, the homework from Awesome Ashley was to introduce yourself to 3 new people that inspire you. That's what you were supposed to do. Now, what's really amazing about this journey that I've been on with this podcast, and basically what we do is we teach people how to build, launch, and grow their own personal freedom success system, is that when I literally changed my profile over on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, man, so many people began to reach out to me. And the reason that I had said for last week's episode to introduce yourself to 3 new people that inspire you, because game recognizes game. And this is what I do know. Thousandaires don't hang with millionaires, and millionaires don't hang with billionaires. Just like inspiring people don't hang around with go quitters and go sitters. They hang around with go getters, because these are the people that are literally moving the needle in local communities, regionally, nationally, as well as internationally. So before we continue, we have to pay the bills. Today's sponsor are Linky and BigNet Domain. So listen, if you are a business owner, if you're an entrepreneur, solopreneur, mompreneur, or dadpreneur, you need to go to linky.com. That's LIINKY, and go ahead and get your free account. And Linky is this fabulous tool that allows you to create links to anything. You can also connect it to YouTube. You can also connect it to Spotify and SoundCloud and so many other things. And basically, it's a simple tool that allows you to get your message out to people when you connect with them out in the marketplace. Also, if you need to get a website, if you need web hosting, if you need e-commerce or email marketing, go to BigNet Domain, where the net just got bigger. And at checkout, use promo code BigNet and you'll receive a savings upon checkout. Also, you all know that I'm a retired veteran. So listen, for all of my veterans out there, I want you to connect, share, and build in a very positive way. So go to veteranhub.org. That's veteranhub.org and get your free account for life. It doesn't cost you a dime. It just costs you a little bit of time. If you want to connect with like-minded people, go to veteranhub.org and get your free account today. One last thing before we get to the segment. So today's poll question is this. Do you desire to be a millionaire or a billionaire? Do you desire to be a millionaire or a billionaire? Yes, no, or it depends. Now, each Monday we drop new episodes at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. These are all pre-recorded, and then we do our live show where we actually take a deep dive. We unpack and unhack that particular episode. So for everybody that's tuning in live, and maybe you didn't actually see that, you didn't listen to the podcast, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to jump right in there, and then we're going to answer these 2 questions. So like most billionaires, Bria is presented with new opportunities each and every day. Each one the next big thing. And someone asked Bria, how does she know when to invest and when to wait? And she simply responded, demand. That's DEMAND. So let's get personal. Aspiring to become a millionaire or billionaire is a lofty goal by any stretch of the imagination, which many will never, ever achieve. However, to position yourself, it only requires that you go where systemic, persistent problems persist. That is what we call the sweet spot. So now let's unpack and unhack this episode. So, how does one create wealth? Listen, if you ask some seniors in high school, how do you create wealth? Depending on how large the school is, they probably would tell you all sorts of answers. If you went right now in any workplace in America and say, how do you create wealth? You're going to get a lot of different answers. Some people say, well, with a job, by working, by saving, by investing. And they wouldn't be wrong with any of those answers, except they actually are. There's literally only one way to create wealth. Now, I happen to believe, and I actually have it up here on my calendar, that health equals wealth. And so much about creating wealth has to do with the relationships that we allow ourselves to be in. Now you're saying, Doug, what do you mean it's about the relationships we allow ourselves to be in? Well, if you were listening earlier, this is what I said. I said, thousandaires don't hang out with millionaires and millionaires don't hang out with billionaires. And literally, no kidding. And this is not to denigrate anyone, but poor people typically don't hang out with really wealthy people unless they're probably working for them, right? In other words, these are two different worlds that are colliding. And because there's a billion miles between the way that they view the world and the way that they view opportunity, this is why they're not in the same zip codes. And literally, it's all what's in between here. But literally, creating wealth starts with relationships. Now, I'm going to ask you this question. And I did an episode some time ago, probably in season 1 or 2. And once you start doing a lot of episodes, you'll be like, oh my goodness, like, where did I do the episode? But this is what the episode was entitled. It said, is your phone broke? And, because we have these smartphones and now they've actually gotten better, you can actually drop them and they probably won't break. And then a lot of people said, hey, well, why don't we just wrap them with something? And how about we let the shock be absorbed with this particular thing that we put around it? Then, a lot of phones are not getting broken as quickly. But really, the whole premise behind that particular episode was, if you look in your phone and you look in your contacts, and if you needed to raise X amount of dollars, let's just say you want to start a nonprofit. A lot of people want to start nonprofits, and then they're like, hey, look, well, I think I'm going to start with my family, my friends, and then people that know me in my network. And it's like, the only thing about it is, when you go to those people don't have any money to invest in your particular nonprofit. You, my friend, have a broken phone. Your phone is broke. Your smart device, it is broke. And as I said, creating wealth is all about the company that you keep. Like, for example, everybody knows like really, really famous billionaires like Jeff Bezos and like Warren Buffett. They have a couple of things in common. Their last name are both begin with B, and then they're both billionaires. And if you ask them, like, well, how did you do this? Of course, we know that Uncle Buff, he has a keen eye for just locating value in companies and understanding like market tone and what's going on in the marketplace, and when to, just like Bria the Billionaire, when to actually say yes and when to say no. But I promise you one thing, Buffett never invests in anything where there's no demand. Now we have Jeff Bezos. Remember when Amazon first started? You thought Amazon was just all about, selling books. Well, if you think about it, there is always a demand for information. In fact, information, which is nothing more than education, is how it's branded and how it's packaged up. Jeff Bezos is on something because guess what? No one had done it yet. And he said, hey, you know what? I'm going to give people an opportunity to publish their books in a digital format. And then I'm going to set up this distribution center where anybody in North America and now around the world can actually purchase it. And then it just began to evolve. Why? Because inside of those books were some great ideas, and they may have given Jeff Bezos some great ideas on how to expand and scale his business. So really, creating wealth is all about relationships. So here's a very pointed question for you. Who are you allowing yourself to be in a relationship? Are these people in your life? Now, let me qualify that. Family doesn't count because your family is your family. Now, you can keep them at bay and you can keep them at a distance, but family doesn't count because that is your family, okay? But you can keep them at bay and you can keep them at a distance, of course, but they're your family. So we have to discount families when it comes to the people that are in your life and that you allow in your life. By default, they are in your life. But what about everyone else? Do you realize everyone else in your life, you are allowing them in your life? And the question is, are they going in the same direction that you want to go in? For example, you say, hey, you know what? I am an entrepreneur. What I know about entrepreneurs is this. Entrepreneurs typically hang with fellow entrepreneurs. You can almost ask any founder of any company. Right now, I'm very intrigued, and I love good movies, but I really love particular movies when they talk about a founder and a startup, and it fascinates me because their thought process is very different than most. And right now, I'm looking at Super Pumped, that's on I think it's on Stars and Showtime, but nevertheless, it's super awesome. It's talking about the founder of Uber. And his thought process is just very different than the people that are following him, the people that he are leading. It's even different than his VC, the guy who literally funded his dream. It's very different. His approach is very, very different. And what he wanted to do, for you all that don't know this, is that he wanted to basically come in and liberate all of the cab drivers all across the country and then all across the world, which is literally what he did. And he had a very systematic and disciplined approach on how to do it. And when people believe that they're getting more value somewhere else, they will leave every day and all day. But at the end of the day, the question is, who are you allowing in your life that is not a family member? And are they adding to you and multiplying you, or are they dividing and subtracting from you? And so entrepreneurs literally surround themselves, for the most part, also with people who are smarter than them. So Uber, their strategic and competitive advantage was that they had a tech stack and they had a bunch of engineers, because they were like, hey, look, we got to at least figure this out. And it really wasn't hard, because think about it. We have these things, these smart devices. These smart devices are GPS, a global positioning system, right? And what they did is they tied into all of that. And not only that, but they also tapped into the fact that most people did not have a great experience when they were hopping in the back of a cab. And also, the cab drivers themselves and the drivers themselves, it was like that whole industry was locked down by corruption, because you had to get some type of medallion. You never could own the cab. So he tapped into all of that. Very strategic, very disciplined. And guess what? He took over the entire industry. Now, I'm not going to say it was not without a fight, but it was an easy sell. It's like telling somebody, hey, you know what? If you go to school and you get a degree, you're going to make more money than people that don't have a degree. That's a really easy sell. I don't know, maybe. But my point being is that it's all about relationship. And I don't even know if the founder was an engineer, but he surrounded himself with all of these tech engineers that knew how to build this amazing platform, and that allowed him to have a strategic advantage. And it was all about the relationships. So what type of company are you keeping? You need to mind the company that you keep if you want to become a millionaire or a billionaire or become financially independent. And really, I don't think the number so much matters. I think what it is you want to create this thing called automatic money. So when you think about this in totality, really, Uber, just like Amazon, like Microsoft, like Facebook, like Instagram, like WhatsApp, like TikTok, these were nothing more than ideas. And literally, that is how Walmart, Walgreens, these are nothing more than your fellow human beings' ideas. So between relationships and ideas, because if you get an idea, chances are you're not going to be able to pull it off by yourself. So you're going to need relationships to help you manifest that and bring that vision to fruition, which is why I work with a lot of developers, a lot of people that are a lot smarter than me when it comes to, I'm a digital entrepreneur that help me when it comes to these platforms and stuff like that. I mean, I cannot say this enough. It's your ideas. So that's how you create wealth, ideas and relationships. Now, if how you create wealth is with your ideas and with relationships, how can you keep wealth? It's the same thing, believe it or not. I cannot make this up. Be like, really? Like, yeah. Like when you get one idea, like, and I'll use Amazon as an example, Uber as an example. When Uber first came out, they were called Uber Cab. Well, they dropped the cab and just became Uber. And remember how they were just delivering only what? Only human beings from one place to another. They were transporting human beings from one. Now they have Uber Eats. And they're in all types of other markets that unless you actually go and look at their financial report, you wouldn't even know. But they said we're going to become basically a transportation delivery service, not just of, guess what, people from point A to point B, but we can also deliver food to people and food to companies and food to corporations. And maybe we'll actually get into other spaces as well, right? Now understand what they were really good at is, like transportation for people. So think about is small packages, right? So food is like an easy thing to do. And there's a lot of restaurants out here. Oh, and to exacerbate it, hey, guess what? A pandemic happened starting in late 2019, 2020. And guess what? Nobody could leave. Well, guess what we're going to do? We'll deliver food right to your door. Isn't that amazing? So one idea creates multiple income streams and multiple opportunities if you can just see. Now, chances are maybe he didn't even see that, but maybe someone on his team said, you know what? Hey, since no one's leaving their home, how about we develop this thing called Uber Eats? And now people can actually have food. And we already have a workforce anyway. And besides that, now we can leave food right on and then everybody else began to adapt that too. And so you had, and I think even before that, DoorDash was out, I think even before you had Uber Eats. So all of these things have popped up and spawned. But my biggest point is that it's simply an idea. But one great idea can lead to other great ideas, which can lead to greater opportunity. And if they're going towards a demand, something that is very persistent, it's a systemic, persistent problem. Guess what? People always want to have convenience. Who doesn't want to have their food dropped off at their house where they don't have to go shopping? Hello, Instacart. I mean, I could go on and on about these ideas, but the question is like, how do you keep wealth? So then also it's relationships, but also go where demand is at. I have a lot of friends in my circle and I invest in crypto. And when I began to do my research, I was like, banks and credit unions right now are paying at least millions of people in America and billions of people around the world less than 1%. Less than 1% on their checking and savings account. Well, the entire world is almost entirely on direct deposit. Even if you're a business owner, you don't accept cash. You actually let it go into your business account, right? And if you're a 1099 or if you're a W-2, you're definitely on direct deposit, right? So why would you allow yourself to earn less than 1% on your savings and checking account when you could earn double digits, like starting today? You can literally earn double digits on your money, but because we think of cryptocurrency as some foreign entity when it's very real and it's a market just very robust, and you can make double digit earnings on you can have a high yield savings account that earns you easily 12, 13, 14, 15%. I've seen some as high as 30%. Why would you leave your money in an account that literally pays you less than 1%? Well, one, is because you have allowed that relationship. That relationship is one way with your bank and with your credit union. But if I told you the institutional investors, and if they're in the financial services sector, chances are they actually have that money right over in crypto and earning double digits off of your money and paying you less than 1%. Man, that is horrible. So let's do a quick recap. How do you create wealth and how do you keep wealth? Ideas and relationships, and more importantly, understanding where there are systemic, persistent problems, there's always going to be a demand, which means there's always going to be opportunity. So, what are the major takeaways? Or really, what is the one major takeaway? Well, money is simply a tool, no matter how much or how little you have. I'm going to say this again. Money is only a tool, no matter how much or how little you have. But this is a question to ponder as we get ready to wrap the show up. If you could double your income where that income came in automatically, how would that change your life? We're going to be having a boot camp on something just like that. How anyone, anywhere can double their income. How, I'm going to say this again, how anyone, anywhere can double their income. You know why I am just passionate about helping people discover their calling, passion, and purpose, do it with excellence, and live a legendary life? Because man, then once you discover your purpose, guess what? There are no mountains high enough that you won't go over, around, or through. You'll figure it out. Once again, money is only a tool, no matter how much or how little you have. And the question is this: if you could double your income and that was coming to you every month, month over month, automatically, without you having to work for it, how would that change your life? How would that change your family? How would that change generations to come? Well, guess what? You want to definitely go to that, participate in that boot camp. We'll be launching that. We're in March right now. I said I want to start doing like boot camps every Saturday because most people off the work plantation, the job plantation on Saturdays. So it'll be something that you can actually tune in to, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. So what's the homework for this week? Thank you for asking. Look for new opportunities in your local market. I promise you, there are so many opportunities. You just need to look. And this is the deal. If you can help other people achieve their goals and their dreams, opportunities are always there. And this is what I know. This is the one opportunity that everybody wants, is that everybody wants the opportunity to make their life better. Everybody wants that. Everybody wants that opportunity. And because everybody wants that opportunity, if you can show them how to make their life better, hence Slow Money Blues, we help you build, launch, grow your own personal freedom success system. Guess what? Chances are you are going to be elevated too by elevating others. So as always, tell anyone you know that's suffering from Slow Money Blues to tune in each Tuesday from 9:30 to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget to follow, like, and share at Slow Money Blues on social media and join our private Facebook group. Until next time, I want you to continue to build, launch, and grow your own personal freedom success system. And I will see you next Tuesday. Oh, one last thing. Tell 5 people you know that have SMB to tune in to the show to be recorded. It's everywhere. It's on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. I will see you next Tuesday. Bye.